The decision is final. Your son is expelled. Principal Douglas Harker sits behind his desk, hands folded, expression carved from stone. Behind him, floor-to-ceiling windows overlook the football field, manicured lawn, state championship banners, Westridge High, the kind of school that prints its rankings on admission brochures. 16-year-old Kai Pemberton sits in the chair across from Harker, flannel shirt, jeans, split knuckles, bruise forming along his jaw. His posture is straight despite everything. Beside him, empty chair. His mother hasn't arrived yet. You understand why? Harker continues. His voice is measured, administrative. You engage in physical violence on school property. Zero tolerance policy, no exceptions. Kai doesn't respond. Do you have anything to say? I was stopping an attack. That's not your role. We have security, administration, proper channels. There wasn't time for proper channels. Harker's jaw tightens. Mr. Pemberton, I don't doubt your intentions were good, but intentions don't override policy. You threw punches. You injured another student. That triggers automatic expulsion. The other student was beating someone unconscious. Then you should have called for help. I did. He was 30 seconds from a closed fist to the skull. I didn't have time to wait. Harker stands, walks to the window. The school board reviewed the security footage. They agree with my decision. You're expelled, effective immediately. You'll finish the semester through online coursework. Your transcript will note disciplinary action. Kai's hands grip the armrests. Barely. This will destroy my college applications. Then you should have thought about that before you decided to be a vigilante. The door opens. A woman enters, late 40s, professional attire, controlled energy. Her eyes scan the room, land on Kai, then on Harker. I'm Simone Pemberton, Kai's mother. Harker turns. Mrs. Pemberton, thank you for coming. Please, sit. Simone doesn't sit. She walks to Kai, examines his face, the bruise, the split knuckles. Are you hurt anywhere else? No, Mom. Did you start the fight? No. Did you defend someone who was being attacked? Yes. Simone nods, turns to Harker. My son is not expelled. Harker blinks. Excuse me? I said my son is not expelled. You're going to reverse your decision. Today. Mrs. Pemberton, I understand you're upset, but the decision has been made. By whom? By me, and upheld by the school board. Did the school board review all the evidence? They reviewed the security footage. Did they interview witnesses? Did they speak to the victim? Did they consider context? Harker's expression hardens. We don't need to conduct a trial. The policy is clear. Physical violence equals expulsion. Your son admitted to throwing punches. To stop an attempted murder. That's dramatic, is it? Simone's voice drops, cold, precise. Because the student Kai defended, Marcus Riley, is currently in the hospital with a concussion, fractured orbital bone, and internal bleeding. The student who attacked him, Brandon Coulter, has a documented history of violent behavior that this school has ignored for 3 years. And my son intervened because none of your security, none of your administration, none of your proper channels were anywhere near that parking lot when it happened. Harker's face flushes. We can't monitor every square inch. But you can punish the student who prevented a death. Silence. Simone reaches into her bag, pulls out a folder, sets it on Harker's desk. Before you finalize anything, you should know who you're expelling. Harker looks at the folder. What is this? Open it. He does. Inside, newspaper clippings, certificates, photos. All about Kai. Harker's expression shifts as he reads. Confusion, then something else. Simone's voice is steady, unyielding. My son has been volunteering at a youth crisis center for 2 years. He's trained in conflict de-escalation. He's talked 3 teenagers out of suicide attempts. He's mentored kids from violent homes. And 6 months ago, he was recognized by the mayor for community service. She pauses. So, when he tells you he had to intervene, when he tells you there was no time, when he tells you someone was going to die, you should believe him. Because he knows what violence looks like. He knows what hesitation costs. And he made a choice to save a life instead of following a policy that would have let someone die. Harker stares at the folder, at Kai, at Simone. I didn't know any of this. You didn't ask. The room falls silent except for the hum of air conditioning, and somewhere in that silence, Principal Harker realizes he's made a catastrophic mistake. 24 hours earlier, Kai had been walking to his car. End of school day. 3:15 p.m. The parking lot was half empty. Most students already gone. He'd heard it before he saw it, shouting, the sound of something hitting metal. He'd turned, seen them behind the gym, 3 figures, 2 standing, 1 on the ground. Kai had moved closer, recognized them immediately. Brandon Coulter, senior, linebacker, rich family, history of getting away with everything. His friend, Tyler Gaines. Same crowd, same attitude, and on the ground, Marcus Riley, sophomore, quiet kid, drama club, the kind of student who kept his head down and tried to be invisible. Brandon was kicking him, hard, methodical. Marcus was trying to protect his head, blood on the pavement. Tyler was filming, laughing. Kai had stopped, pulled out his phone, called security. "There's a fight behind the gym. Someone's getting hurt bad. Send someone now." He'd hung up, looked around. No adults, no security, no one. Brandon pulled Marcus up by his shirt, reared back for a punch, full force, aimed at Marcus's head. Kai didn't think, just moved. He'd covered the distance in seconds, grabbed Brandon's arm, pulled him back. "That's enough." Brandon spun, face red, eyes wild. "Get the hell off me. You're going to kill him." So, Brandon shoved Kai, hard. Kai stumbled back, caught himself. Tyler stepped forward. "Walk away, Pemberton. This doesn't concern you." Kai looked at Marcus, curled on the ground, blood on his face, one eye swollen shut. "I'm not walking away." Brandon laughed. "Then you're stupider than I thought." He swung at Kai. Kai blocked. Muscle memory from the de-escalation training. Redirect, don't engage. But Brandon kept coming, wild, aggressive. Tyler joined in, 2-on-1. Kai defended himself, blocked, dodged, took hits, gave them back when he had to. Then Brandon grabbed a rock, fist-sized, from the landscaping border, raised it above Marcus's head. Kai tackled him. They went down, hard. The rock skittered away. Brandon threw punches. Kai threw back, not trying to hurt, just trying to stop. Security arrived 45 seconds later, pulled them apart. Brandon and Tyler were restrained, screaming, swearing. Marcus was loaded into an ambulance. Kai was taken to the office, blood on his shirt, not all his. And Principal Harker had made his decision without asking a single question. Now, Harker sits back down, slowly. "Mrs. Pemberton, I appreciate your son's extracurricular activities, but policy is policy. If I make an exception for Kai, I set a precedent." "You already set a precedent." Simone's voice is sharp. "You let Brandon Coulter assault 3 students last year with no consequences. You let him vandalize school property. You let him threaten teachers. Why? Because his father donates to the athletic program?" Harker's face goes pale. "That's not... It's exactly why. Don't insult my intelligence by pretending otherwise." She leans forward, hands on his desk. "Here's what's going to happen. You're going to reverse Kai's expulsion. You're going to apologize. And you're going to investigate why a violent student has been protected, while my son, who has never been in trouble, who has a spotless record, who literally saved a life, is being punished. I can't just..." "Yes, you can. Or I call the school board myself, and the local news, and I let them know that Westridge High punishes heroes and protects bullies. Your choice." Harker stares at her, at the folder, at Kai sitting quietly in his chair. "If I reverse this, the board will question my authority." "Then let them. Authority without judgment is just tyranny." The words land heavy. Harker is quiet for a long time. Then he picks up his phone, dials. "Nancy, I need you to pull Kai Pemberton's expulsion paperwork. Yes, the one we processed this morning. I'm reversing the decision." He listens. His jaw tightens. "I don't care what the initial recommendation was. I'm the principal. It's my call. Pull the paperwork. Now." He hangs up, looks at Kai. "You're reinstated, effective immediately. No disciplinary note on your transcript." Kai exhales, doesn't speak. Simone nods. "Thank you." "But," Harker continues, "I need your word, Kai, that you'll come to administration first next time, that you won't take matters into your own hands." Kai meets his eyes. If there's time to come to administration, I will. But if someone's about to die, I'm going to stop it, policy or not. Harker stares at him, long, searching, then he nods. Fair enough? 4 years earlier, Kai had been 12 years old, middle school, quiet kid, good grades, no trouble. Then his older brother Ethan had died. Suicide, 17 years old. Depression no one saw coming. Kai had found him, had called for help, had tried CPR, had failed. For 6 months, Kai had shut down, stopped talking, stopped eating, stopped everything. Simone had gotten him into therapy, support groups, anything that might help. Slowly, Kai had come back, but different, quieter, more watchful. At 14, he'd started volunteering at the Youth Crisis Center, same place Simone had taken him for help. He'd learned how to listen, how to recognize warning signs, how to intervene before things got critical. He'd saved 3 kids from suicide, talked them down, stayed with them, connected them with help. The mayor's recognition had been unexpected. Simone had been proud. Kai had been uncomfortable with the attention. "I'm just doing what someone should have done for Ethan," he'd said. Simone had cried that night, proud and heartbroken at the same time. Kai had become someone who saw danger before it happened, who stepped in when others looked away. Not because he wanted to be a hero, because he couldn't stand to watch someone else lose what he'd lost. 2 days later, Kai returns to school, Wednesday morning, walks through the halls. Students stare, whisper, some approach, thank him, say they saw what happened. That was brave. Brandon's an asshole. Someone needed to stop him. Kai nods, doesn't engage much. In third period, Marcus Riley's seat is empty, still in the hospital. After school, Kai drives to the hospital, asks for Marcus's room. The nurse directs him. 4th floor, room 412. Marcus is awake, bandaged, one eye still swollen. His parents sit beside the bed. They look up when Kai enters. "You're Kai," Marcus's father says. "Yes, sir. The nurse said you're the one who stopped it." "I did what anyone would do." Marcus's mother stands, walks to Kai, hugs him, hard. "Thank you. The doctor said if it had gone on any longer..." Her voice breaks. "Thank you." Kai nods, throat tight. Marcus speaks. His voice is rough, painful. "Why did you help me? We're not even friends." Kai looks at him. "I didn't need to be your friend. You needed help. That was enough." Marcus's eyes fill. "Brandon said he was going to kill me, said no one would care. He was wrong. You got expelled because of me. I got reinstated. It's fine. But you risked everything. And I'd do it again." Kai's voice is firm, final. "Every time." Marcus nods. Can't speak. Kai stays for 15 minutes, talks about nothing important. School, homework, recovery timeline. Then he leaves, drives home, sits in his car outside his house. His phone buzzes. Text from a number he doesn't recognize. "This is Marcus's dad. I wanted you to know Brandon and Tyler have been arrested, assault charges. The school board is investigating why they were protected for so long. Your mother's complaint triggered a full review. Thank you for everything." Kai reads it 3 times. Then he goes inside, where Simone is making dinner. "How's Marcus?" she asks. "He'll be okay, physically." Simone nods. "And you?" "I'm fine." "Are you?" Kai sits at the kitchen table, quiet for a moment. Then, "I keep thinking about Ethan, about what would have happened if someone had stepped in, if someone had seen." Simone stops chopping vegetables, turns. "You can't save everyone, Kai. I know, but I can try. And that's noble. It is. But you can't carry the weight of every person who might need help. It'll break you. It already broke me 4 years ago. Now I'm just trying to make sure it breaks fewer other people." Simone crosses to him, sits beside him, takes his hand. "Your brother would be proud of you." "I hope so." "I know so." They sit in silence, dinner simmering on the stove, the evening light fading outside. And somewhere in that quiet, Kai allows himself to believe her. 1 month later, Principal Harker calls a school assembly. Friday morning, full auditorium, students confused, teachers curious. Harker takes the stage. "I want to address something that happened last month. Many of you heard about an incident in the parking lot, an assault, and the student who intervened." Murmurs ripple through the crowd. "I made a mistake. I prioritized policy over principle. I expelled a student who saved another student's life. That was wrong. Silence now. Complete attention. I've spent the last month reviewing our disciplinary policies, consulting with the school board, talking to students and staff, and I've realized that zero-tolerance policies don't account for context, for nuance, for the difference between aggression and defense. He pauses. Effective immediately, Westridge High is revising its disciplinary code. We will still have zero tolerance for violence, but we will also recognize the difference between attacking and protecting, between starting a fight and stopping one. Scattered applause. I also want to publicly recognize Kai Pemberton for his courage, his quick thinking, and his willingness to do the right thing even when it cost him everything. He gestures to the wings. Kai, would you come up here? Kai shakes his head from his seat in the audience. I'm good here. Laughter, warm, respectful. Harker smiles slightly. All right, but know this. You set an example, not just for stopping an attack, but for showing all of us what real integrity looks like. The applause is louder now, sustained. Kai sits still, uncomfortable but accepting. After the assembly, students approach. Some thank him. Some ask questions about the crisis center. Some just want to talk. One girl, junior, nervous energy, approaches hesitantly. Kai? Yeah? I've been thinking about hurting myself for a while, but seeing what you did, hearing about the crisis center, I think I need help. Kai's expression softens. You do, and that's okay. Asking for help is the bravest thing you can do. Can you help me figure out where to start? Absolutely, come with me. They walk to the counselor's office together. Kai introduces her, waits until she's comfortable, then he goes to class. If you believe in standing up for what's right even when the rules say otherwise, hit that subscribe button. 6 months later, Marcus returns to school full-time, still cautious, still healing, but alive. He and Kai become friends, not close, but connected. The kind of bond formed when one person saves another's life. Brandon and Tyler are convicted, expelled, facing juvenile detention and probation. The school board implements sweeping changes, new bullying protocols, better security, actual accountability. Principal Harker is different too, more present, more willing to listen. The incident changed him. Kai continues volunteering at the crisis center, applies to colleges, writes his essay about intervention, about choosing people over policy, gets accepted to 7 schools, chooses the one with the best psychology program. One evening, Simone and Kai sit on their porch, spring air, quiet street. I'm proud of you, Simone says. You've said that before. I'll say it again, every day if I need to. Kai smiles. You don't need to. Yes, I do, because you're becoming exactly who Ethan would have wanted you to be, not in spite of what happened, because of it. Kai's throat tightens. I miss him. Me too. Do you think he'd understand what I'm doing? I think he'd understand completely. And I think he'd tell you to keep going, to keep seeing people, to keep stepping in when others walk away. Kai nods, quiet. Above them, stars emerge, one by one, the world turning, the night settling. And somewhere in that vast darkness, a boy who couldn't save his brother continues saving everyone else. Not because he has to, because he can. And because that's what love looks like when you can't hold the person anymore. You hold everyone else instead. Rules exist to create order, but they fail when they punish compassion and protect cruelty. Zero-tolerance policies sound strong, but they're weak when they can't distinguish between aggression and defense, between harm and protection. Real leadership isn't blind enforcement. It's the wisdom to see context, to value principle over procedure, to recognize that sometimes the right thing violates the rule. We build systems to keep people safe. But when those systems punish the people who actually keep others safe, we've built the wrong thing. Courage isn't always convenient. It doesn't always fit inside the lines. Sometimes it looks like a teenager risking expulsion to stop a murder. Sometimes it looks like a mother challenging authority with truth. Sometimes it looks like an administrator admitting he was wrong. That's the kind of courage that changes systems, that saves lives, that builds a world where policy serves people, not the other way around. If this story resonated with you, subscribe to this channel. Drop a comment telling me which moment hit hardest, Kai's intervention, Simone's confrontation, or Harker's public apology. Like this video if you've ever been punished for doing the right thing. Tell me where you're watching from. And remember, when you see someone in danger, when you witness injustice, when the rules say to look away but your conscience says to step forward, choose courage, choose action, choose people over policy. That's how heroes are made, not by following rules, by knowing when to break them. Now go be that person. The world needs more people willing to risk everything to save someone.